Hi Stampers, this is Dawn and today we're going to make my April thank you notes. Aren't they beautiful? We're using the brand new suite called Ornate Garden, which just launched on April 1st. And I wanted the focus of my thank you notes to be the designer paper, but then I started using the dies and those are really amazing. And then the stamp set is so super awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. So today I'm going to make two thank you notes with you because when we cut out the Ordinate die, we're going to cut that in half, so we're going to make two anyway, so I might as well go ahead and make them. So this designer paper is the Ornate Garden. Let me show you the flyer. The link down below in the description box has the link to the flyer, and it's a 3-page flyer for the Ordinate Garden suite. And of course you can buy every single thing in the suite, and it's a little bit of a discounted price for the whole suite. But you could also buy everything individual if you wanted. So I'm going to show you what we're using today. So we're going to use this Ordinate Thanks stamp set, which is right here, which you can buy individually, or you can get it in a bundle with the Ordinate border dies, which are not what we're using today. So this stamp set we're using, and then the designer paper, which is the Ornate Garden Specialty Designer Paper. Specialty means one side, at least one side, is the foil. And then over here are the dies that we're using, the Ordinate layer dies. And this is in a bundle right up here with the Ordinate style stamp set, which is one of the items that we're not using. And then also you have these accessories. You have the gilded gems, the Ordinate ribbon combo pack, which is old olive and terracotta tile. And then also this Ordinate floral 3D embossing folder, which is beautiful. Okay, so you can get everything in the suite that I just showed you right here for one price, right here. Okay, so if you want to see the flyer up close, you can print that out down below in the link, or you can visit my blog. All right, so let's start with the base. The Whisper White is cut at 2 3/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Then all my thank you notes this month are using the Early Espresso. I just feel like that's the core color that makes the designer paper pop. So the Early Espresso piece is cut at 2 1/2 by 4. And then the designer paper is cut at 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. Beautiful. And then this is the other color of the designer paper that we're going to use. So this is the terracotta tile, and then I believe this is Calypso Coral in there too. But isn't that pretty? So like I said, my thank you notes, I wanted it to be the designer paper that pops, but then we use the dies. So let me show you that. So here are the Ordinate layer dies. Aren't they awesome? They're rectangle shapes, but they're also that very delicate detail around the edges. This is the size that we're going to use, and I'm going to cut that out with the Early Espresso cardstock. But these are the dies that are in the bundle with the Ordinate style stamp set. Okay? And then this is the stamp set I'm using, the Ordinate Thanks, which I absolutely love this stamp set. It's so many greetings, you can mix and match. And I'm using the thanks, and then seriously, thanks. So we're going to put those two images together on a block. But then you can get this in a bundle with the Ordinate border dies, and you can save 10% when you purchase these together in a bundle or in the suite. Then we're also going to use the stitch rectangle dies, and we're going to use this cutout here for the greeting. So we're going to go ahead and do some stamping. So let's grab some Whisper White. So like I mentioned earlier, I have seriously thanks already put on my block, and I put them on there together so I won't have to worry about lining them up or stamping even twice. I can just stamp once and it's good to go. So we're just going to use the Early Espresso ink, stamping that. I'm going to stamp it twice so I can cut it out twice. And this is a photopolymer stamp set. Beautiful. All right, so let's grab our die cutting machine. So now one thing I've noticed with cutting the rectangle dies, it's not only this detailed one, but also just the regular rectangle, that when you cut laying your die this way, it cuts a lot easier, where it's easier to crank the die cutting machine to go through to die cut compared to cutting it this way. I really don't know why it works better that way, but it works best for me with my die cutting machine that way. So frames, and I will say I'm going to run that through a few times just because this is so detailed of an edge. I want to make sure that it gets cut all the way around. Okay, so we're going to cut out the Seriously Thanks. We're going to cut that out twice with this stitch rectangle die. Line that up. And cut that out. Okay, so I'm going to use my die brush, and I'm going to just roll it across this edge of this die. And it's going to pop up all the pieces really nicely. You can actually save this confetti for a shaker card if you wanted, because it's like nice and fun, different shapes. Isn't that beautiful? Let me lay it on here in this Whisper White so you can see the details of that. It's so beautiful. All right, so let's bring in our pieces here. We're going to adhere these two together with the Whisper White, and then we'll do the layering for the greeting here. So let me grab some snail. Oh, look at that. That's the gold side on the back of that. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, so there's our 2 thank you notes. And like I said, we're going to make 2 because this label, we're going to cut this in half. So I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I'm just going to cut this in half. You can actually use your paper trimmer if you want, but I find that just using my scissors is good. Just going to cut that in half. So we're getting double mileage from that die cut. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to take our Seriously Thanks. We're going to put adhesive on the back of those. And then we're going to put that on the die cut. Just like that. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on each of them. Okay, make sure the card's opening up the correct way, and we're going to put this right in the center. So the designer paper is still showing, and it's really the highlight of the card, but that edge right there is so beautiful. Plus, all my customers could get a sample of what the designer paper looks like in person, because it doesn't always look like the same when you see it in real life compared to the flyer or in the catalog. Okay, so there's those 2. And then here's the other 2. Now this one is using the daisies, which is probably my favorite of the designer paper. I mean, I love them all, but this is probably my favorite. And then there's this one too, which is beautiful. Okay, so there's the 4 thank you notes. If you have any questions, just let me know. And then also I'll have all the items listed below with the link to the Ornate Garden Suite, if you want to take a look at that. And then also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.